Well, what a miserable day it is today. It's been raining all night. I think Jono was good. He sent the weather this way. The pool's looking a bit fuller. Everything's getting a good watering. So today we're going to have a look at the recall I got recently from Harley Davidson. We're going to go in the shed and I'm going to let Jason explain it all.
So on a rainy day we're out here in the garage because we want to have a bit of a look at Sue's bike. In the mail, Sue got a letter from Harley Davidson. It was a vehicle safety recall. So it says, "Dear Harley Davidson motorcycle owner, Harley Davidson Motor Company Incorporated has decided that a defect which relates to motor vehicle exists in model year 2016 to 23 Softail motorcycles. We are notifying you because our records indicate that you may own one of these motorcycles." Indeed she does, right there under the cover. What is the issue? The fastener that retains the rear shock absorber adjuster on your motorcycle may fracture, potentially allowing the rear shock absorber adjuster to contact the rear tyre. Not very good. A risk of crash exists if contact between the rear shock absorber adjuster and tyre remains undetected, resulting in a loss of pressure. And of course that goes on to show a chart of what vehicles it affects, which is basically all Softail range. Basically it goes on to say, please contact a Harley Davidson motorcycle dealer and arrange appointment to have the motorcycle repaired. It's currently expected that the recall kits will begin shipping on the 1st of September 23. To schedule an appointment, have your motorcycle repaired, contact Harley Davidson.
It says on the form at the bottom that it should only take 2 hours to repair.
So what we're going to do is take the cover off and have a bit of a look to see what they're talking about. So on the Softail, on these newer Softail models, the shock absorber is under the seat. Now the reason they put it up here under the seat was so that when you're going down the road, if you hit a bump, the bike will come back this way and the travel rebound from the shock absorber will push the bike forward. In the older Harleys, you had the shock absorber mounted horizontally down the bottom of the bike, but at a 45-degree angle, so that went over a bump in the old one, it would push you up like this. Well, this new models, they have the shock absorber in a situation so that it pushes you forward, so you don't feel it as much when you're traveling. Okay, so let's have a look at where this is.
Just take that sissy bar off.
Life of a moto vlogger.
I haven't used that yet, but I'll be using it soon.
Okay, we just need to take this pillion seat off. Take that screw out. Take the pillion seat off. Undo these two screws. Don't worry about losing these screws down there because there's a retaining plate up washers that hold it on. And these two washers here hold those screws up because that's just a plate with bolts on. Now your seat's off.
Oh, it needs a clean in there.
Yeah, that'll be Sue's job in a minute. Get rid of the gunk. Okay, so here's the shock absorber. So Softails have a separate subframe which holds the back of the bike, and down here there's a a bolt going through, so it's a hinge. And when you go over a bump, this can come up like this against the shock absorber, but when it goes back down, it'll push the bike forward, so you won't feel it as a big bump. So the shock absorber retaining bolt, if it was to allow the shock absorber to go down and possibly contact the wheel,
It must be down the back there.
yeah, it must be the rear bolt that attaches to the swing arm. So that must be this bolt. I don't know if you can see that shaft, the shock absorber, the top bolt is there. That wouldn't swing if that broke, but the bottom bolt, you can see the shaft down there. You see the silver shaft? Okay. So that goes back and that attaches to the top of the swing arm. Okay. Now, it was this top bolt, it would take 5 minutes, but I can understand why it's going to take 2 hours. Luckily, the motor company is quite happy to do it. Quite often some recalls don't get done in different parts of the world. I'll tell you a little story about a Pajero we had once. Sue and I had a Pajero super wagon back in about 1990, and we're driving down the road and suddenly I hear dunk, 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 dunk under the car, and behind in the rear vision mirror I could see little bits of rubbish shooting out the back of the car. Now this was bad timing because I had my son's birthday party and a bunch of kids in the car going to get ice cream. So basically when I looked down at the instrument cluster, I could see that all the alternator lights were on. I opened the bonnet of the car and find that none of the front belts are driving, but the engine is still idling. So I limp it home and I do a bit of investigation and find out that Mitsubishi Australia quite happily made a recall for a bolt in the front of the crank all the way around the world except for Mitsubishi Australia. So, you know, it's good of Harley Davidson to come out and change these and make a safety recall worldwide. So, how about you get a cloth, Susie?
A cloth?
So what we got to do next is ring the Harley dealer and get her booked in.
So let's do that now.
Hang on, I'll put this bike back together first. Okay, the Harleys have a socket here for this tongue to go into to fit the seat. So the first thing you want to do is push that in and get that socket in place, and then your plate will just slip straight on those bolts, slip into the holes in the plate. Let's do the seat bolts up. The seat nuts are only finger tight as you can get them with your fingers, because if you're ever stuck on the side of the road, you need to get these undone, get to your battery or something. Okay, these have just got tongues that slip over those bolts. And again, line it up so it's over your seat bolt receptacle, and your seat bolt goes in. Now the beauty of this bolt is this can be done up a little tighter because it's got a wide enough slot in it that if you get stuck on the side of the road and you need to get it off, you can use a 10-cent or a 20-cent coin. Let's get that. Beautiful. So I didn't sort of finish the story about the recall on the Pajero. So the bolt that Mitsubishi Australia didn't put a recall out for cost a whole $12.50. And basically I had to take the whole front of the vehicle apart, all the radiator out and everything, because the bolt had snapped in the front of the crank. and then I had to get a tow truck to take it to an engineering shop to get the bolt drilled out with a diamond drill, and then bring it back and replace the bolt and put all the radiator and everything back in and all the fans back on the front of the engine, resulting in about a $2,000 fix in my driveway that Mitsubishi Australia could have fixed in about 10 minutes in their workshop if they'd done a recall. So good on Harley Davidson for putting this recall out worldwide. All right, let's give them a call.
Welcome to Central Coast Harley Davidson. Please press 1 for motorcycle sales, 2 for finance, 3 for merchandise and accessories, 4 for parts, 5 for service, or 6 for administration. Central Coast Harley Davidson.
Here, how are you?
I'm good, how are you going?
Good, thank you. Look, we've just got a vehicle safety recall for one of our Harleys.
Yep.
And with that rear shock absorber bolt. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if we can arrange to book it in to get it done, mate.
Okay, let me see if I can grab someone for you.
Thank you.
Waiting.
Is that music loud enough?
He's still there?
Yes, mate.
He's just on another call. Can I get him to give you a call back?
Yes, you certainly can.
Yeah.
It's Jason.
All right. 040 487 307.
That's correct.
Wants to put bike in to get looked at because it's got a vehicle safety recall.
Yep.
Recall. Too easy. All right, I'll get someone to give you a call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess we've got to wait now. Well, that was very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Central Coast HD get back to us. We haven't heard from them yet. It's been a day already. The rain has settled a little bit. It's been raining for quite some time. It's now Friday afternoon and it seems like the rain has finally stopped. The pool's looking a bit full. So let us know in the comments if you've had any recall issues, problems with HD. It'll be good to hear from you. So just remember, life's short, so get on your bike and ride.